I am Dr.G.S.Devasena, Head and Associate Professor, Department of Statistics, SSBN Degree College, Anantapur. Today we are discussing about time series. Introduction. Arrangement of statistical data in chronological order, that is in accordance with the occurrence of time, is known as time series. Importance. Time series have unique important place in the fields of economics and business statistics. Since the series relating to prices, consumption and production of commodities, bank deposits and bank clearings, sales and profits in a departmental stores, agricultural and industrial production, national income and foreign exchange reserves, and many more. Definition. A time series may be defined as collection of readings belonging to different time periods of some economic variable or composite of variables. Mathematically, a time series is defined as by the functional relationship ut is equal to f of t, where ut is a value of the variable at time t. Examples: the population ut of a country in different years, the number of births and deaths in different months of the year, the sales of departmental stores in different months of the year, the temperature of a place on different days of the week, and so on constitute the time series. Let u1, u2, etc. un are the values of the variable with time periods t1, t2, etc. tn respectively. Components of time series. The various forces at work affecting the values of phenomena in time series can be broadly classified into the following four categories, commonly known as the components of the time series. Secular trend or long-term fluctuations, short-term fluctuations, seasonal variations, cyclical variations, random or irregular variations. Trend. By secular trend or simply trend, we mean the general tendency of the data to increase or decrease during a long period of time. This is true in most series of business and economic statistics. The word trend refers to the general movement, that is either increase or decrease of a time series over a long period of time. Examples of upward tendency. Some economic variables may increase over a long period of time. This tendency is called upward tendency. Some of the following variables will have an upward tendency. Growth of population during last decade, and industrial production observed in the last 5 years. Agricultural production of AP during last 8 years. Examples of downward tendency. Some economic variables may show decrease during a long period of time, known as downward tendency. Some of the following variables will have downward tendency. The number of deaths taken place in a district of AP during 2008 to 2013. Epidemics occurred in the last 10 years. Illiteracy observed in the country in the last 10 years. We cannot say that all the series must show an upward or downward trend. There will be certain series whose values fluctuate around a constant value which does not change with time. Example, the series of barometric readings or the temperature of the particular place. The term long period of time is a relative term and cannot be defined exactly. In some cases, a period as small as week may be fairly long, while in others, a period as long as 2 years may not be sufficient. Example, if the data of agricultural production for 24 months shows an increase, it won't be termed as secular change over a period of 2 years. Whereas for the growth of bacterial population of a culture, every 5 minutes for a week shows an increase. This is regarded as a secular change. Short-term fluctuations. It is observed that in many social and economic phenomena, apart from the growth factor in a time series, there are forces at work which prevent smooth flow of the series which in a particular direction and tend to repeat themselves over a period of time. These forces do not act continuously but operate in a regular spasmodic manner are called short-term fluctuations. The resultant effect of such forces may be or classified as seasonal variations, cyclical variations. Seasonal variations. These variations in time series are due to some rhythmic forces which occur in a regular and periodic manner. over a span of less than 1 year, that is during a period of 12 months, and have the same or almost same pattern year after year. Thus, seasonal variations in time series will be there if the data are recorded quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily, hourly, and so on. Most of the economic time series are influenced by seasonal swings. The seasonal variations are due to the following reasons: climatic changes and weather conditions. The various seasons or weather conditions and climatic changes play an important role in seasonal movements. Example, the sale of umbrellas will be more in rainy season. The demand for refrigerator and cooling items will be more in summer season. The sale of ice and ice creams increases very much in summer. The sale of woolen clothes rise up in winter season. Man-made conventions. The seasonal variations are also due to habits, fashions, and customs, conventions of the people living in the society. Example, the sale of gold ornaments will be more during marriages and festivals. The demand and profits of the general commodities will be more in departmental stores during festivals like Sankranti, Dasara, Deepavali, and Christmas, etc. The main objective of measuring the seasonal variations is to isolate them from the trend and study their effects. The study of the seasonal variations are more useful to businessmen, producers, sales managers, etc. in planning future operations and formulation of policy decisions regarding purchases, production, inventory control, and selling advertisement programs. Cyclic variations. The oscillatory movements in a time series with a period of oscillation more than 1 year is known as cyclic variations. One complete period is called cycle. The cyclic movements occurred in any business activity is known as business cycle, which have 4 phases, that is prosperity, recession, depression, and recovery, and normally last from 7 to 11 years. Irregular variations. Apart from the regular variations, almost all the series contain another factor called the random or irregular variations. These fluctuations are purely random, erratic, unpredictable, and are due to the factors like floods, wars, earthquakes, famines, epidemics, strikes, lockouts, revolutions, etc., which cannot be predicted and are beyond the control of human hand. These isolated or irregular but powerful fluctuations due to floods, revolutions, famines, etc. are also called episodic fluctuations. Analysis of time series. The main problems in the time series analysis are to identify various types of components present in the data, to isolate, study, analyze, and measure these identified variations independently. Mathematical models for time series. The following are the 2 models commonly used for the decomposition of a time series into its components. Mathematical model for time series. The following are 2 models commonly used for the decomposition of a time series into its components. Additive model. According to the additive model, a time series can be expressed as ut is equal to tt plus st plus ct plus rt, where ut is the time series value at time t, tt represents the trend value, st, ct and rt represents the seasonal, cyclic and random fluctuations at time t. The additive model assumes that all the 4 components of time series are independent of each other. Moreover, st, ct and rt are absolute quantitative deviations. Multiplicative model. If the components of a time series occur proportionately, then suitable and appropriate mathematical model is multiplicative model. The time series can be expressed according to the multiplicative model is ut is equal to tt into st into ct into rt, where ut is a time series value at time t, tt represents the trend value, st, ct and rt represents the seasonal, cyclic and random fluctuations at time t. Mixed models. In addition to additive and multiplicative models, some other models in which additive and multiplicative models are combined under different assumptions called mixed models. Some of the mixed models with different combinations are given below. UT is equal to TT ST plus CT into RT. UT is equal to TT plus ST into CT into RT. UT is equal to TT plus ST plus CT into RT. Models 1 and 2 can be used to obtain a measure of one or more of the components by elimination, that is subtraction or division. Uses of time series. The time series analysis is of great importance not only to businessmen or an economist but also to people working in various disciplines in natural, social and physical sciences. Some of its uses are enumerated below. It enables us to study the past behavior of the phenomenon under consideration, that is to determine the type and nature of the variations in the data. The segregation and study of the various components is of paramount importance to a businessman in the planning of future operations and in the formulation of executive and policy decisions. It helps to compare an actual current performance of accomplishments with the expected ones and analyze the causes of such variations. It enables us to predict or estimate or forecast the behavior of the phenomenon in future, which is very essential for business planning. It helps us to compare the changes in the values of different phenomena. Thank you for listening to my lecture.